right, Nick. This has been the never-ending story, so to speak. Consistently going back and forth, back and forth. What's going to happen with Baker Mayfield? Is he going to stay on the Browns? Is he going to get cut? Who's going to pick him up? The name that keeps poking around there is the Carolina Panthers potentially picking Baker Mayfield up. And I believe you have some thoughts, opinions, and a little bit of a story of what you think the ideal situation for the Panthers would be to get Mayfield. But before we dive into that, Panthers faithful, let's hear your thoughts. If he becomes available, do you want Baker Mayfield? Do you think he would be an upgrade over your current quarterback situation? Comment below. Let us know what you think. But anyways, Nick, let's get into this. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield. What do you got?
So I think there's only one situation where you get Baker Mayfield, and that's if you have gotten rid of Sam Darnold. I think having Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, and Matt Corral in your quarterback room has all kind of problems, and I'll go into that a little bit. So now, obviously, the big risk there is you don't want to trade for Baker Mayfield. You don't want to give anything up for him, whether it's draft capital with players or anything, right? At this point, you can just wait out the Browns to see if the Browns will cut him. That seems to be the smartest move, and it looks like it could actually happen. According to ESPN, Dan Graziano wrote that he took a straw poll of league executives, coaches, and agents, and that a majority of the people to whom I spoke, this is Graziano talking, for this story, believes both players, talking about Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo, will likely end up being released. All right, so right now, if the Panthers slow play this, Baker Mayfield will be released. So that means if you want Baker Mayfield, which I think he would be an upgrade over Darnold, you have to move on from Sam Darnold. You have to either trade him, which, you're just giving him up for anything. You like get anything in return, or you release him. And I understand he's got an $18 million cap hit that's on your books, whether he plays this season or not. But the good news for the Carolina Panthers is that you have $25 million in cap space that's already counting that Darnold hit. So that's not going to be a huge deal. It's a one-year thing. You're not going to have any dead money going to these next following years. So if you move on from Darnold and bring in Baker Mayfield, I think that could be a positive situation for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree. I don't want to roll in as a Panthers fan to this season with Sam Darnold as my future. I know a lot of people have a lot of faith in him. I don't know why. He's never really been amazing. Obviously, Baker was number 1 in that draft. Darnold was number 3, I believe, to the Jets. But, Baker has proven himself time and time again. Outside of injuries, he has been a relatively consistent player. You know what you get from him. He's a good morale guy. It seems like a lot of his teammates liked him. He obviously did not get along with the front office. There's a couple of snafus, social media wise, in Cleveland, but for the most part, he gets along with the team. The fans liked him to the point where the Deshaun Watson trade happened, and it really seems as of now, and this is why I totally believe that he will be released. He will not play for the Browns. He will not play another down of football for the Browns. He doesn't want to be there, and rightfully so. He shouldn't want to be there. The Browns made their bed. Now they got to sleep in it. And that part of sleeping in that bed is cutting Baker Mayfield, letting him walk, and dealing with the consequences that you have decided to do. And I think the Panthers, if that happens, like you said, if they move on from Darnold, it's a major upgrade for your team, and it makes you a little bit more competitive, even potentially to win your division. What do you think?
Well, I don't know about winning the division. Obviously, with Brady in that division, it's always going to be tough, but at least competitive in the season, right? And it's a year where obviously Matt Rule needs to be more competitive in order to keep his job. But again, I just want to look at the fact that with Sam Darnold, the best you're hoping for, even if he's healthy, even though it's a better roster, is what, 7 wins, 8 wins? That's not keeping Matt Rule's job. And Matt Corral, really high on him. I think he's got a high ceiling. I really like his attitude, his leadership, plus his talents there. I think it's going to take time. He's from an RPO offense. Maybe he comes in right away and learns that McAdoo offense and knocks the socks off if he does great. But I think getting an upgrade will be really, really important. And I think you've seen other teams do this as well. Look at inside the division. Look what the Falcons did. They obviously drafted Desmond Ridder, but before that, they brought in Marcus Mariota, kind of a safety veteran to kind of hopefully bridge the gap. I think you look at Baker Mayfield to fill that same kind of role. And remember, Mariota came to the Falcons with a 2-year deal, for about $18 million. So $4 million the first year, $14 million the second. I think with the cap space the Panthers have, they can do a similar deal with Mayfield, kind of the opposite. I'd say $14 million the first year. Remember, the Panthers have $25 million in cap space, more than enough for Mayfield, and then $4 million the second year to kind of entice him to come to Carolina. And look, if Mayfield comes to Carolina and plays great and turns his career around, that's awesome, perfect. You got him, good job. But if he doesn't, that's okay. You've got an upgrade over Darnold, which allows you to win games in the meantime in case Corral isn't ready. And the other thing I wanted to bring up earlier, why it's important to get rid of Darnold, is that Matt Corral, if he is your guy in the future, needs reps. So you don't want to crowd the quarterback room with veteran quarterbacks that you're constantly dishing out reps in practice and things like that too. That's why you only want to have one veteran. If you're going to bring in Mayfield, you got to get rid of Darnold so that way Matt Corral can still get adequate reps in practice and, during training camp and with the coaching staff and all that as he works to learn the offense and improve his game.
All right, Nick, it's time to get your internet privacy back today on every device you own in any country you want. Don't let anyone but you control your internet. NordVPN keeps you safe from prying eyes wherever you go online with their military-grade encryption. Is your favorite Netflix or streaming content blocked in the US? You can simply connect to one of the many countries available with NordVPN and get the access you need.
That's right, Maya. So right now, get our exclusive NordVPN deal here at nordvpn.com/SMI. It's risk-free now with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. Again, get that exclusive deal, nordvpn.com/SMI.